Going live. Hey, we are live, and I've got another amazing wrestler in the state of Florida, amazing wrestler in our country. It's Hannah Bug Hall from Palm Harbor High School. She just got her third state championship this weekend, and she's still in on the boys' side. You placed at districts, correct?
Yeah, I took second.
Second at districts, and now she's on to regionals at Osceola High School, right?
Yep.
So cool. So we have her on tonight. We've been talking about doing this, but she was kind of dialed in for her season, and now that we got through states, here she is. It's awesome. So, well, first of all, you just had the state tournament this weekend, right? This past weekend for the girls, I think. And I know it's a COVID year, so it was a little bit different. But Osceola did a great job. I heard. I was at a boys district, so I couldn't make it. But talk about, I think it was like 317 girls or something in there.
Yeah,
It looked like you guys had loaded brackets.
I think all the brackets were almost 32-man brackets. And we were only down like 20 girls this year. Being like a COVID year, that was like
You guys had
great.
loaded bracket. God, I'm sorry. I had to mute that.
So I think we were only down 20 girls this year compared to last year, which is great because like this year with COVID, a lot of wrestlers weren't able to compete.
That and just because of the way it's been, there were districts going on the boys' side that a lot of the girls were wrestling in as well, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, like our district was moved to a Wednesday, so I was able to compete in both.
That's awesome. So first place at state, so it's your third state championship. Second place at the boys' districts. It's been a really good year. Sunshine duels, right? You were at the grappler, right?
Yeah, I was.
Third, did you do 32?
I didn't do 32 this year.
Nope. But it's been a good run. You're all the way up to what, number 3 in the nation right now?
Currently, yeah.
Wow, pretty cool. And we've chose college, and we'll get into that. But before we do, so if anybody doesn't know, just a small introduction. She's third in the country at her weight class, 3-time Florida State champ, Cadet Fargo All-American, multiple-time All-American at other tournaments around the country, and she's been in the national limelight for a while. And she's going to take her talents to McKendree, right?
Yeah, I am.
That's awesome, exciting. I remember when you signed. I was there to take pictures. It was fun.
The pictures came out great too.
Yeah, it was. Well, first things first. I mean, you're over there at a great program, and the program has just taken off. Coach Avramitis and Radner, your dad, Coach Bowie, everybody that's involved with that program has really, man, they're next level. Their boys and their girls are just doing big things. What makes that program so amazing? What makes those coaches really be who they are and get you guys to kind of click? I mean, we see wrestlers coming out of their program, boys and girls that are really starting to show themselves.
I think it's like everyone pushing each other every day. In the room, we have high ranked guys and high ranked girls in the nation, and we all push each other. We all want to see each other get better, and the coaches want the same thing. So everything we do is like kind of like out of love. Like when you're beating up on your partner, it's out of love. So, and after practice, there's no emotions. So maybe you beat up on them today at practice, but then once you're out of the room, you guys are still friends. And I think that's what makes a team.
Yeah, and obviously doing the right things because you guys are already expanding to a bigger room, I see.
Yeah, we are. We're going to a new facility for our Canes Club.
How awesome is that? And I know that, and we'll talk about this a little bit, but I know that you're going off to college now. But how much are you looking forward to coming back and still mentoring the kids in the room?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
It's gonna be so. I've got here. A lot of people see you wrestle and they see at this point, man, she wins all the time, right? But it wasn't always that way, right? Tell us how your career actually started.
So it was actually me begging my dad for 2 years to let me even on the mats because women's wrestling was still kind of like an iffy thing. So my dad was like, you're kind of going from like kids to like girls and guys. And he doesn't want to see his little girl get like beat up by the guys. So I begged him for 2 years, and then once he let me on the mat, it was a year and a half of just like straight losses. It wasn't close, but I think it was because I was participating in the sport and not like actually competing. So that's like when my mindset started to change and I started to see a difference was when I decided that I'm going to train to win, not train to participate. And my freshman year, we traveled all over the place. And I still wasn't doing well. I went 0-2 at Super 32 that year and 4-4 at Tulsa Duels. So after that, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. I was about to quit. And then I broke my hand and I was like, okay, I really do need wrestling and it can be taken away at any point. So it's time to put 110% into it. And then I won my first state title.
And here we are 3 years later, and you've got three of them, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool. Yeah. So what has your girls' high school record been?
Um, in high school, it's 53-1 right now, with my only loss to Lauren Stone in the semis, which wasn't a bad loss. She's a four-timer out of Florida. Um, and I learned from my losses. So
That's awesome. And now, and you've been wrestling on the national level now for years, right? Uh,
yeah, I started wrestling nationally my freshman year.
and we're still gonna see you do a lot of that stuff this summer?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, nice. Because you can still, because since you were a senior 2021, you can still compete in any of those senior level events, right?
Yeah, so I'm planning on wrestling at the showcase in March, UWW, Junior Duels, and Fargo.
Oh man, that's so awesome. And I'm talking to you and I'm sharing you around the whole country here so everybody can listen to you. Little by little, we're getting there. Um, and I probably shared you twice in some places because I can't tell what I'm doing. I'm going back and forth, my old man memory. But how did this year's state title feel in comparison to your others?
It was a very bittersweet moment for me in the finals. I ended up wrestling one of my friends and training partners, Sophia Anderson, and it was just really hard since she's been at the house all the time training with us. We train on the weekends together when I go down to Orlando. I was really hoping to watch her match in the finals at 106, but unfortunately, she had a bump up. So it was a bittersweet moment. Unfortunately, the last 2 years, I've had to wrestle one like some of my friends in the finals, Kaylee Reese and Sophia Anderson.
And I'm sure it's tough to do that. I know I was at the grappler. Well, you were at the grappler this year too, right? When we
Yeah,
saw Busakis and Crook wrestle. And it was
yeah,
like, they're so close. They were like, oh man, do we really have to do this?
yeah,
It's kind of the same feeling, right?
yeah. It is. It's a very bittersweet moment.
But on the mat, you both want to do your job and then get off. You can do the hugs and kisses afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And she's a great girl too. So we wish her the best. Is she a senior this year as well?
She's a junior, so I'm really hoping like she gets back into that final next year and she just wins it. She takes home the title.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, thank God, Hannah's going to college. I don't have to face her next year. No, hope not. Right? Hopefully, you made her better.
Yeah.
Kristen Suarez says, I remember the first time I saw Bug at Florida Pride Camp a couple years ago when I was coaching with Nick. Great how she stuck with it and watched her grow. Uh, Bungie Fretwell sent some stars. Matthew Avermitis going to be the first girl to qualify for 3A states. Hey, there you go. Sparkman go Bug, and then Avermitis put like three little green bugs. So the love is coming from your peers, and that's awesome. Um, who are some of the coaches and drilling partners who have helped you accomplish your goals over the years?
Some of the biggest drill partners have been like Gabe Naranjo my freshman year. He would literally just beat me, Dylan Sparkman, and Mikey Katita up all practice, and it made all three of us better. We're all like top in the state right now. And then Dylan Sparkman was one of the best drill partners I've had, like my freshman and sophomore year. It was day in, day out, either in the garage or at the Palm Harbor facility. And we were both okay wrestlers. Neither of us were really athletes. And now we're both number one in the state. So hard work does pay off. And then Josh Hartley and Connor Reeves, they give me two different looks in the room, and they're both great drill partners too. And then the entire Team Florida team, like Juliana, Sophia, and Kim, really helped me. But this year, the biggest person has been Claire. She comes in the room every day, giving it 110%, and I'm really excited to see where she goes.
Was it the first time that you had another girl in the room with you to work with?
Um, Training
As far as at high school, I know you're on girls teams and you travel with girls, but as far as at high school at Palm Harbor, was it the first time you really had someone there with you that not only you could mentor, but you could drill with?
Yeah, it was. It was the first time I've had a girl competing for a state title with me, and that feeling was great. Watching her in her finals match, my heart was going. She got me nervous a couple times. It
Yeah,
was a
I heard, I wasn't there. I mean, I saw their match at the knockout, but I heard, I had Valerie Solario on last night and she said the whole gym stopped to watch those two girls wrestle. It was that good.
Yeah, it was.
That's good. And that's awesome to see. Amy Sparkman said you both pushed each other to the limit. Hard work pays off for sure.
Yeah.
So, we mentioned that you decided on McKendree. How did you know McKendree was the right fit for you? Obviously, you had many opportunities out there, um, but you chose this one.
So academically and athletically, they had the programs I wanted. On the athletic side, their facilities are great. It's a two-map facility, and right next door is the weight room. And right now, when I'm going in, I don't want to be the top girl in the room, and they have Felicity Taylor there, who's the number one girl at 116 right now. So being able to like push each other, I'm really excited to see where that goes. And the coaches are very similar to the coaches I have right now. Like Coach Sam, he's very similar to my dad. They're very similar styles, and I really liked that. And academically, they had all the majors I wanted.
That's awesome. And it's the same. I spoke to Lewandowski. I had her on. I also had her dad on, right? And she is going to be your new teammate over there. She's number one in the country at her weight class out of McKendree. And she said the same thing you said. She said, I could have gone anywhere I wanted and I could have started anywhere in the country. I knew coming here I'd be 2, 3, 4 behind. But I knew that because of the team and the goals and who's in front of me, it's going to make me a better wrestler in the long run. And it has. Look, here we are a couple years later, and she's number one in the country. She starts on that weight class. Um, that's cool. It's cool to hear that you don't. She didn't want the easy path, and it doesn't sound like you want that either. You want to be pushed so you can be the greatest bug you can be, right?
Yeah, I want the path that's gonna make me the best.
That's all. Because from what I understand, and oh well, here's the next question. It'll just lead us right into it. Your goals and dreams, what are they? Obviously, it's not just to be a college wrestler. It's bigger than that, right?
Yeah. So this year, I want to make a world team, and I want to be a national champ. That's my goal this year. I haven't stopped since I won the state title. I actually had two practices in a day and a gym before that. I That's my goal this year. And then past that, I want to be an Olympian. I want to be an Olympic champ. 2028, 2032. Those are the years I want to go.
That's awesome. Hey, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. I had, I don't know if you saw the show I had on earlier. I had Roger Stewart on earlier, and if you want to go back and listen to him, he's unbelievable. This guy, he's deaf, right? Um, he didn't place at districts. He didn't place at regionals. He didn't make the state tournament in high school. And he ended up being number 7 or 8 in the country as a USA wrestler. And then he ended up placing at worlds or I think it was nationals. He placed like 7th at nationals. He's made the Deaf Olympics teams. He's made world teams. And just when you hear him speak about it, it's incredible. It drives you. He walked on to a Division I college program. So
Yeah.
it's unbelievable when you hear, it just proves that you put your mind to it, you can do anything you want. Now you are a state champ. You've made it to all these levels. You've been on the national spotlight. So obviously you know you can do it, and we're rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you.
But it's cool if you listen to him. I mean, he got to all those levels, and I'm sure when he wasn't making those regionals or states, there were naysayers, right? And he said he just had to hide from the distractions and surround himself with the right people. And it sounds like you've always done that, so that's cool. So I know a big part of what you do is giving back to the youth wrestlers and mentoring. Why is that so important to you? And obviously, I've seen that firsthand. Well, we know Claire Bowie, but I've seen you at Sunshine Duel with the little girls, coaching
Yeah.
them in the corners and stuff. But anyway, talk about that.
The sport's bigger than me, especially on the women's side. Women's wrestling is still growing, and the only way for it to grow is by giving back to the sports. Luckily for me, I really like little kids too, so it's not hard to be around them a lot. I give like privates from like the age of like 5 to like I was helping a girl, she's 16 this year. So it's just if you don't give back, the sport's not going to keep growing. So you just have to realize the sport's bigger than yourself.
And right now, you're the women's side has traction, so you got to keep pushing it downhill, right?
Yeah.
It keeps going, um, and that's awesome. Well, she gives privates, so everybody hears that out there, right? So she can get some like weekend money to go get some ice cream on cheat day and stuff. But um, this isn't on here, but since we're talking about giving back and mentoring and important for the sport, how far has it come in Florida since you were a little girl and now to where you see it now, where you're able to look back? And we were talking before we went live, right? Excuse me. We were talking before you went live about all these seventh, eighth, and ninth graders that are coming up that are hammers.
Yeah, it's grown so much. I remember when I was 11, my first match against a girl was Kat Bartlett's, and that match, I was 11, she was 14. It should go how a match should go when you're 11, 14. And now, like girls in Florida, when they go to like competitions, they're able to have like brackets of like their own age group. You're not having middle schoolers having to wrestle up to high school. Just the numbers have grown so much. It's amazing to see.
Yeah, and now there's women's tournaments, period, right? Like you don't have to go and sign up for the men's bracket, right? Just to get wrestling. And I
Yeah.
know we always see you do it. I know at GFC you'll sign up for both sides, just to kind of push yourself. And I know at the Grappler this year you got little Busakis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an experience, right?
Yeah. I remember him as little Vince. He's not so little
Not
anymore.
so little anymore. Yeah, uh, he ran through that bracket, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, if you could give one piece of advice to a girl wanting to follow in your footsteps, what would that be?
Have confidence in yourself and in your training. On the mats, when it comes to the time for competition, it's 70% mental, 30% physical. And just to keep going and like keep building yourself up, you have to have confidence in your training. And I think it's like for me, like the coaches I've worked with, like Coach like BB, Coach Jake, Coach Des, my dad, Coach Matt, Coach Radner, they all help me stay on this humbled path where I can just keep growing from there. And I know the work I'm putting in with them is more than what someone else might be doing. If I can go on the mat knowing I outtrained anyone, then I should be able to win it if everything goes right.
As long as your mind is there, right?
Yep.
What now you're making a transition. There's going to be no more folks. Well, you'll have folk style through the boys tournaments, but from there, probably never again, right?
Um, if I can convince my dad not to let me wrestle folk style for the showcase.
Oh well, I'm sorry, you still have that stuff. But as far as your larger tournaments, when I've talked to a lot of girls, you've probably seen them that are in college now that um, Some of them never did freestyle in high school.
Yeah,
Some of them only were competing with boys their whole high school career, as just no choice. The girls weren't where they are today. And making that transition to freestyle and having to compete only against girls was hard, right? Uh,
yeah,
because, you know, different muscles, different body types. You study for a boy different than you study for a girl, right? Hips and upper body, things are different. And when would you tell like a young lady to start transitioning to freestyle, or start to get out there to try to compete with more girls? And would you tell girls to continue to compete with boys? Or would you say, hey, if you've got full girls teams and you got full girls tournaments, just stick the path, right? Stay there. You're lucky. You don't have to deal with this. Or would you say dealing with this makes you better?
For me, to get matches, I had to wrestle the guys. And for freestyle, transition as quick as possible. Like if I could have started freestyle when I was in sixth grade, I wish I would have. Because after high school, you will never wrestle another folk style match again. At the college level, at the Olympic level, it's never folk style ever again. So for the girls, transition as quick as possible. For wrestling with the guys, though, I think the guys they give you a different feel for sure because guys do bend differently. Their hips are a different feel. Um, Guys and girls are just kind of built different. I think it's kind of up to you what you want to do. For me, this is my last run. This is my senior year. I've trained with the guys throughout high school, so I decided why not take a run with the guys. Um, but if you have a full girls team, why not wrestle the people you're going to wrestle after high school? You're going to be wrestling girls after high school. You're going to be wrestling girls after college. It's just, I think it's a good feel if you want it to, like chess be on a girls team, you for sure can.
So take advantage of what girls like yourself and girls that came before you have done to make it to where we have full rooms now of girls and you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. If you want the opportunity, like I know like with your like Dr. Phillips, Freedom, it's all girls. So everyone's teaching each other in there and they're helping grow the sport in both of those rooms. I
That's
think it's
awesome.
a good
It's
step.
fun. How was it? How was the state tournament this year? Really good. A lot of, as far as a competition, your fourth state tournament, right, for girls in
Yeah.
Florida. From that freshman year to this year, how much has the competition changed?
I think the competition, the size of the brackets have gotten bigger for sure. Um, I know like my freshman year, I had 40 girls in my bracket, but I've always been at that weight that like most high school girls are, that 100, 138, most high school girls are around there. Um, the size of each bracket's gotten bigger. The competition level, when you're looking at who's on the podium and who's on the top of the podium, you're looking at your girls who travel nationally. You're looking at your girls who are nationally ranked. I think it just means Florida's producing some good girls.
And there's more coming, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's cool. I mean, I watched. What did you have? You had two Florida teams, I think, right? At Sunshine Duels, was it two?
Yeah.
But then you guys had a lot of little girls with you that were there wrestling, and I think those are the ones that you guys all mentor, right?
Yeah. So we had Mia Parker was there, Emma Bacon, Haley Motor. Those were like our three for our Sunshine Duel, like our team, our tidal wave team. I couldn't remember the name of our team.
The Motor family, they're pretty good, huh?
Yeah, they are. Haley wrestled. I think she took like fifth.
Yeah, I just saw a post
Yeah.
that I shared. Yeah, and I saw her little brother. Is it a little brother wrestle at IHO?
Probably their entire family is a wrestling family.
Yeah, I saw him a match with Adias. It went to like double overtime or something. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
Fun to watch. Well, it's been awesome. I'm so happy I got to have you on finally. I know we see each other out there, but I know you've been kind of dialed in, and now your final run is fun, right? I mean, let's see what I can do. This is the first time you've jumped onto the boys' side, right? To try to make the run?
Yep, I've never wrestled districts before, and right now there's no pressure.
Yeah. See you're already at the number one college, right? You're already won your state championship. Now it's like, hey, let's see what I can do.
This is
Thank
just
you, Christian. Motor has 4 kids wrestling. Yeah, I've watched a couple of them, and they're pretty cool. And the dad is awesome. I finally got to meet him at one of the tournaments, and he was super nice. He came up and said hello and stuff, and took some pictures, and that was cool. All right, so you ready?
okay.
Leg lace or gut wrench?
Leg lace,
Chips Ahoy or Oreos?
Oreos,
For sure. Arm throw or arm drag?
arm throw,
Pancakes or waffles?
waffles.
Kaylee Reese, Hannah equals goat. uh, Oh, I'll see you tomorrow, Kaylee. Fries or tater tots?
Fries.
You like the waffle ones or like the thin and crispy?
I like sweet potato fries a lot.
You know what? I'm down. Especially when you put salt on them so you get that sweet and savory. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one. High C or ankle pick?
High C.
Iced coffee or hot?
I'm not a coffee drinker.
Oh, what do you drink?
Tea.
Tea.
Yeah.
What options do we have there with tea? Hot tea or iced tea?
Hot tea.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. 32 or Fargo?
Fargo.
All right. Wendy's or Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
For sure. You know, years ago, Wendy's was the place, right? For the chicken sandwich, but I think Chick-fil-A has taken over that spot.
Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant to go to when you're not training?
I like anything that's I'm not a picky eater really. Um, probably like Chick-fil-A, or there's like this like protein shake joint near us that I really like.
Yeah, I know like the season was over and Daniel found this little taco truck. I think you probably saw me. I posted it on Instagram
Yeah.
and we went there and hammered some tacos. I think, well, last season, right after the season, COVID hit, so we couldn't do anything. But the season before, we went to like one of those Brazilian steakhouses
Yeah.
afterwards where you could eat all the steak and meat and stuff. You come out of there, you go from a 6-pack to a belly.
We went to one of those places for my mom's and my sister's birthday.
Oh, they're so good, aren't they?
They are.
Oh man. Well, hey, you keep kicking life's ass and doing it big. And I hope to see you again before it's all said and done, before you head over to McKendree. She likes Reese's peanut butter cups as well. Is
Was
that
that from
true?
TV?
That's Mrs. Sparkman. She
Oh,
says
I
you have
love
really
it. Yeah.
I like them. I put them in the freezer.
Yeah.
You get the bag of the little ones and you put them in the freezer. The problem is when you get the little ones, you just grab like a handful of them every night, and you're like, man, they're all gone already.
Yeah, I feel that.
Steve, oh, ask her why. Why do you like Reese's cups?
I just like peanut butter and chocolate a lot. I like the dark chocolate thin ones. So
Yeah, your dad's like, ask her why. And then he put a big smiley face. Well, hey, well, obviously, your parents have done a great job with you, and shout out to them, and shout out to you, and good luck in college, and good luck with your state run. Hope to see you at the state tournament, and I hope to watch you in college and watch you in the Olympics one day. So keep killing it, and thank you so much for coming on. It was an honor to talk to you.
thank you for having me.
Absolutely, anytime. When you make it to states, boys states, let's jump on again.
For sure.
No pressure. See you, and thanks Steve. It was a pleasure to see you. I know you stopped by and talked to me a little bit before we got on. Hey, go kick those boys' asses.
I'll try my best.
All right, see you.
Thank you.